Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Phoenix Film Revival podcast. I am your host, Daniel Iannacone, and this week we had the opportunity to visit our friend Rob Cowan, founder of Safelight Labs, in sunny San Diego. Safelight Labs is a perfect space to go after you've completed shooting your roll of film and are ready for the magic that comes after.
Easy enough. Boom. Boom. Done.
Sweetness. All right. Well, this is podcast number 5 for Phoenix Film Revival, and we are on location in sunny San Diego.
Sunny San Diego. It's finally sunny today.
Yeah. I've been here for a couple days with family, and it's been a little overcast, and on the last day, of course, it clears up a little bit.
Yeah. It's been gloomy here. Usually it's really sunny. San Diego lives up to its sunny San Diego reputation, but it has been gloomy and kind of gross the last couple of days. Good time to walk around with some black and white film and a nice red filter. You know.
We have Rob of Safelight here, showing us his studio, talking about film. I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
I hope everybody's excited. I mean, come on. How can you not be excited about film?
So, traditional dark rooms. I guess that's what we're talking about. We're talking about having a community space. I guess we can talk about your space.
Yeah. So, our space is a little different than I think a lot of the other labs and community darkrooms that are popping up. To a certain extent, we have a full photography studio in here that we have for rent. Anybody can come in and use it. It doesn't have to be film. It doesn't have to be digital. It doesn't have to be anything. You can come in and use a space. If you want to come in here with a piece of paper and a bunch of coloring pencils and draw a model, that's fine. Use the space for whatever you want. Multi-purpose space. But yeah, we've got a nice little studio in here. Black drop, white backdrop. I think I said black backdrop.
Plenty of them.
Plenty of them, yeah,
a couple different ones. You can bring your own black drop.
Yeah, exactly. Plus we have the freshly painted walls and nice hardwood-looking floors in here. It's nice. It's a good space. It's very diverse with what you're actually able to create in here, which is the main reason. We've got some great windows that let in some fantastic natural light. We can block them all out, too, with some blackout curtains, and you can just use studio flash. You can close up the curtains, just get a little bit of light in here. That's what I've been doing lately. I've been working on a series of long exposures
nice.
that I've been shooting in the middle of the day, typically with a 400 speed film. And so all you got to do is just close the curtains just to the right way and stop my lens down to f/22 and aim for that 1 to 2 seconds, and then
have to focus it.
Exactly. I know I don't quite have to worry as much about focus, but just closing the curtains, it's really nice because you can actually really control the light in here quite a bit. But so we got the studio, and then in the back we have the full do-it-yourself development. So
I saw the lab. You have 2 separate spots, one for film processing and scan, and the actual darkroom itself.
Yeah, 2 different spots. I thought about incorporating them all into one, just making one big giant room. But I mean, really, when you're developing at home or something like that, it's just easier to have the lights on and
Right.
A movie going on the background or something like that.
Separation helps.
Separation definitely helps. We got the full film development area in the back. People can come in and do their black and white. They can do their C41, E6 now, since I just got the chems yesterday. Pretty excited about that. Then you can scan everything we've got 2 flatbed scanners, and we've got a nice Noritsu LS600, which is a beast. That thing is so amazing. It's
Scanner's awesome.
Every single time I use it,
fly through your film.
A small little tear rolls down my cheek every single time because I'm just so happy that I bought it. And then we have the full darkroom, which is its own separate room. 6 enlargers in there, plus a large sink, so you can actually have 2 different sets of chems in the sink at one time. If somebody wanted to do something different, it's kind of nice. We've had a couple of people in there working at the same time, plus we've had our couple of workshops so far. It's been pretty good. And then we have a dry prep area too, so you can actually, work on putting your negatives in the negative carrier. You can cut your paper and
nice.
all the different filters and all that kind of good stuff. So
that's definitely awesome. You have quite a space here. Are there any things that you kind of hope to get? Any goals for the studio?
Besides having a business that survives and thrives, my main point with this space is that we bring the community together.
Definitely.
I specifically designed the space so that people could feel comfortable coming and just hanging out.
Right.
We've got a small little library, we've got a couch, we've got another chair, I've got a TV, with Netflix and Hulu and all that kind of stuff. And it's important for me that people feel comfortable enough to be able to come and just hang out. You don't even have to develop film or make a print or buy a roll of film. I don't care. Just come hang out.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk film. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the projects that are coming up. By all of us getting together and really encouraging each other, and that's the main difference. That's the thing about the film community that I absolutely love.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't feel like a competition. It feels more like a family.
Yeah, I noticed that in Phoenix as well.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's probably a thing everywhere. It's just everybody's like, hey, let's just hang out and do this. This is cool.
I wish I could say it was everywhere. So we just had a friend recently come in from Texas, and he lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he doesn't have anything like this here. And I'm just like, man, we need to start a Beers and Cameras chapter out there or something like. We need to find all these film shooters and bring them all together, because we're really lucky here in San Diego. I found this amazing community basically through Beers and Cameras. Beers and Cameras, they also have a chapter out in Phoenix as well. And it's usually just full of really great people who are legitimately passionate about photography, film, digital, cyanotypes, whatever kind of digital process you want to do, or alternative process you want to do. It's fine. It's everybody's just so legitimately nerdy about it.
It's weird because it's like my people, I feel like that's the same way for a lot of people who shoot film or are interested in shooting film. It's just like the connection there is just awesome.
Yeah, and it's not a competition. It's not like, oh, well, my photos are better than yours and all that kind of stuff. It's more like, oh, I did this really cool thing. Let me share with you how I did this process, because I got this idea from somebody else.
And everybody's doing something different. Typically, it's not everybody shooting the same thing. I mean, I feel there's in some ways that sort of thing, but everybody also has their own little niche in what they do, is what I've noticed in Phoenix, but not sure how it is here. But
absolutely, some people are fantastic at street shooting. They are just dynamite at it. Other people are really great at landscapes. Guess what? I am horrible at landscapes. I am probably the worst landscape photographer ever, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on it. I'm going to practice it, and I'm going to try and get as good as I possibly can. But when you go to Hawaii with several rolls of Portra 160, Portra 400, some Ektar, Inamamiya 645, and my Nikkor Mat EL, and you're like, yeah, this is going to be really great, and you finally develop all your film, and you're like, oh wow, I am really horrible at landscapes in Hawaii of all places. How can you not take bad photos? I took some bad photos. I really did. The stuff that I was really happy with was the stuff that I shot of people and my wife, and because my personal photography, I do a lot of fine art nudes, and my wife and I were actually able to do some out, and we found some nice secluded areas, giant trees, and those came out amazing. We went into town a couple of times, shot some amazing street stuff, but the landscapes, nope, just not good. And even my wife will attest to this. She goes, yeah, they're really just not that good. So at least she's brutally honest. She's brutally honest with me, which is what I think everybody needs in their life, is be like, oh, that's a great photo, or yeah, you totally missed.
So quit your day job.
Exactly. Kind of hard for me to quit my day job here, but
spend more time in the studio. Post processing. Making prints.
Exactly.
That's awesome, though. Yeah, community is definitely a huge part in this project. You gotta have people coming in and participating, and it's awesome. I don't know. When I first started this project in Phoenix, pulling together and creating a dark room, I was all excited about having space, and now I'm excited about having a film family, with people that come in and share their work and share what they're interested in. So it's just good. It's like not only do you have a space, but you also have like a family of people that share the same passion.
Exactly. It's you meet all these new people, and I've had so many amazing people come into my life just in the last month of other photographers in and around San Diego, because they heard about this place through another friend, or they saw our stuff on Instagram, or they saw one of our paid ads on Instagram. You got to do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and I now have people booked out to show their work here. So I've got some solo shows, and I actually have some group shows coming up too soon. I've got everything booked up until like February now.
Oh, nice.
So I have every single month we have an artist lined up, and they're all working on all their their stuff right now. We've got a showing this next Saturday on May 18th. I hope it's the 18th, if I think correctly. I'm pretty sure it's May 18th.
Something like that.
The local photographer's name is Don Ellis. Really nice guy. He's showing his stuff here. The show's called Observations. He released a book last year. He gave it away for free to a bunch of us, and then he's actually going to be releasing Observations Volume 2 along with the gallery showing. But it's all of his straight work, and the guy's amazing because he just shoots on his M3 with a 21 millimeter and zone focuses, and Tri-X pushes 1600. That's all he does. So I actually have to buy extra bricks. It's not a secret. He'll definitely tell you about it. But I actually have to buy a separate brick of Tri-X just for him, because he comes in and he goes through a brick within a couple of weeks.
Oh man.
But then for the month of June, I'm really excited about this one. We're having a women's only gallery showing here. So it's
nice.
It's a group showing. So far, I've got about 12 or 13 different female photographers here in San Diego. We're still working on the title for it, but the working title right now is #NotYourBabe. And it's going to be rad because, we're going to highlight the fact that, the photography knows no gender. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do or what do you even shoot with. It doesn't, that doesn't matter. What matters is producing amazing art. And, we need to, photography is kind of a little bit of a male-dominated community. It really is. And we need to make it, I think it's really important that we make it more inviting for everyone.
Right.
Not just, it's not a boys club. I mean, this cannot be a boys club. It's got to be, everybody's got to be included. And so highlighting, women photographers, I think is just so incredibly important. I'm really excited about the show. I've been working, I've been working on the details on this one for the last couple of days, with all the different artists here in San Diego, and actually a couple from LA, Chris Bartolucci from Analog Talk Podcast. She's, I'm trying to convince her right now to show some stuff. I think she's going to, but so Chris, if you're listening to this, you're on the hook now. And then I'm just really excited for stuff like that. Just being able to show people's art, because without the printed work, all of our stuff just sits on computers and iPhones and the internet. It's cool. It serves a purpose, but there's nothing like looking at a physical print right in front of you. That's the most important thing.
Yep. I think having a physical print is important, especially in your work. Not only does it teach you to appreciate your work and have more respect for your work, but you're also in the process respecting other people's work and other people and the time that they've spent to create those images. When somebody sees a darkroom print, especially in color.
We were talking about earlier. Yeah, exactly.
It's not easy. Trial and error. You gotta go through all these steps to create this final piece. And sometimes you don't get there, and you're just like, you know what? I spent an hour on this print, 2 hours. I give up. And other times it's like
one shot and done.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look at that. I got it on the first try.
Oh, yeah.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, there's sometimes I've been working on some prints, and it's not happening. It's just not happening. So I walk away and I do something else. And then I come back to the print, later on, a couple hours, a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months even. And then I see something else and boom, done. I got it.
That's awesome.
I figured out exactly what it was that I needed to do, and I love that. I love the fact that, every single darkroom print that you create, it's unique. It's one of a kind.
Right.
You can replicate the process as much as you possibly can, but every single print is just going to be slightly different, slightly unique, as opposed to just printing them out on an inkjet. If you print it out on an inkjet, you're going to get the same result every single time. Great, that's fantastic. I love that. Right. I love the consistency. That's why digital printing is fantastic. But darkroom prints are just so unique and individual that's what makes them special.
Yeah,
in my book.
It's also less commercial and more art.
Yeah.
It's more of a art piece as opposed to commercial print you just order online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely great, I think.
Yeah.
So how can people participate?
So people can participate just by just coming down to the shop. I mean, we have workshops. We do the workshops. Right now we're doing them on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 10. Come down here and you can learn how to shoot film and how to develop it yourself. That's one workshop, and then the other workshop is actually going into the darkroom and making prints. So I try to alternate them. So those people who do come down to do the printmaking or do the film developing workshop, they can come back the next week and actually make prints out of them if they've never shot film before. But the class that we do for developing, it's fun because I'll loan you a camera if you need it, and I've got some full auto SLRs, some Canon Rebel 2000s, and some of those Canon EOS bodies that are just fantastic. I've got a couple of full manual cameras, some of the older Canons. I've got some, Minoltas and stuff. Everybody gets a roll of Tri-X that we just shoot at box. 24 exposure, because it's a little easier to burn through 24 as opposed to 36. And we load up and we go out and we just go do some street shooting. That's, we do that for a good, half hour, maybe 45 minutes, burn through the whole roll. I just tell people, just get creative. I don't care what you shoot, just shoot. Then we come back here and we go through the whole entire process of actually how to retrieve the film leader and how to, if you don't have a film leader, how to pop off on the canister, how to, put everything in the dark bag, how to load it into the tank, what chems you need, what temperatures you need them to be at, all that kind of good stuff. Fixer, don't pour the fixer down the drain. That's the big thing that, we really hammer home here. Don't dump the fixer down the drain. Yeah, so then we scan the film. Once we dry it, finish developing it, dry it, then we'll actually scan it into the computer. And at the end of the day, everybody walks away with all of their negatives. Plus, everything's ready to go. They can just upload them and share them on Instagram or Facebook or their website or whatever it is. And then the other workshop that we have is actually making a print. So we go through the whole entire thing of darkroom practices. What to do, what not to do. Turn your phones off. Yeah. Take your smartwatches off.
Don't fog the prints.
Exactly. Don't fog the prints. This is your chance to come in here and unplug from the world for a little bit and just really focus on creating some art. A lot of people come in and they just put some headphones on and they just put their head down and it's great. It's fantastic, because they can kind of actually unplug from the world.
That's awesome.
And create some art. So, and then people just can come down and just hang out, participate that way, where you just come and hang out with your friends while they're developing film and, give your input, give your feedback. We're going to start doing a lot of print swaps, on Saturday mornings, since we have a coffee shop 2 doors up. It's not even really 2 doors up. It's 30 feet up. We got a great coffee shop, so
I just picked up a growler.
Yeah. But they're cold brew. It's really good. Can't wait. Brew. I know. I'm actually, after we get done recording, I got to go get another cup of coffee up there. So.
That's awesome. So your Instagram, what's your Instagram?
Instagram is just at Safelight Labs.
All right.
Again, that's Safelight, not to be confused with the window repair company of the same name.
A couple times, I'm like, that's not.
I know, it's spelled different. I mean, we're spelled differently, but I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure your audience knows, since they're pretty much all film shooters, what a Safelight actually is in a darkroom. But for those who don't know, Safelight is that red light that is in a darkroom. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it in movies and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the paper is light sensitive, but it's not affected by the red wavelengths of light, as opposed to the blues and the greens and the yellows and everything. So that's why we use the Safelight, hence the name Safelight Labs. So
I dig it.
I thought about doing like San Diego Community Darkroom, but I was just like, that just is too much. It's just it's not catchy enough. I like Safelight Labs. Like, I like Phoenix Film Revival. Like, I love that idea. It's just it's a great name, and it's just like, because it's not just it still says everything you needed to say. So
yeah.
I love it.
Well, thank you, Rob. I really appreciate it. And I hope to make a trip back out here again. Maybe for one of these other shows. Maybe I can come in and make some prints. You know what? We definitely got to get you. We definitely got to get you into the darkroom. Wish we had more time today, but yeah, I would definitely throw you in the darkroom and say, go print some stuff, man. Yeah. go make some art. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. You can follow us on Instagram at Phoenix Film Revival. It's PHX Film Revival. And we're still working on a website. We should have that up soon. Also, don't forget to follow Safelight Labs. Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Hey, no worries. Thanks, man.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure meeting Rob in person, and I hope you get the chance to do the same. Be sure to follow Safelight Labs on Instagram and stop in next time you're in San Diego. For suggestions on future podcasts, you can send us an email at podcasts@phoenixfilmrevival.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Phoenix Film Revival. Your support keeps film alive. Visit our Patreon to become a member today.